In this video, I'll be talking about the classification of organic compounds. Organic compounds are those compounds which generally contain carbon and hydrogen, and along with carbon and hydrogen, they may contain other heteroatoms such as oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, or halogens. So we'll talk about these later. So it basically contains carbon and hydrogen. Now, organic compounds can be classified into two types: open chain compounds and closed chain compounds. Open chain compounds are also called as acyclic compounds. Closed chain compounds are cyclic compounds. Open chain compounds are those which have a straight chain. For example, butane or propene, etc. Closed chain compounds are those which form a ring. For example, the ring may be of any size: 6-membered ring, cyclohexane, or a 6-membered conjugate ring, such as benzene. And thereby they are called as cyclic compounds because they form a ring. And these are the opposite of that, and that's why they're called as acyclic compounds. Pretty easy to remember. Now, open chain compounds can again be further classified into saturated compounds or unsaturated compounds. Saturated compounds are those which only have a single bond in the chain. Unsaturated compounds are those which either have a double or a triple bond along with single bond, or just double bonds and triple bonds. Example for saturated compound is propane. Example for unsaturated compound with double bond is propene. Example for unsaturated compound with triple bond is propyne. So saturated compound with single bond are called as alkanes in general. Unsaturated compound with double bond called as alkene. Unsaturated compound with triple bonds are generally called as alkynes. Closed chain compounds, they can be classified into homocyclic compounds or carbocyclic compounds and heterocyclic compounds. Homocyclic compounds can be classified as aromatic compounds and alicyclic compounds. Heterocyclic compounds can also be classified as aromatic and alicyclic compounds. We'll discuss about this further. Homocyclic compounds are those compounds which contain only carbon and hydrogen in their ring structure. They can be classified into two types: That is, aromatic compounds are those ring compounds which contain just carbon and hydrogen, and they have resonance in their ring. They can be classified into benzenoid and non-benzenoid organic compounds. So for example, in benzenoid, it is benzene. So benzene is a ring. It contains just carbon and hydrogen, and there is resonance in the ring. Non-benzenoid example is azulene. There is a 7-membered ring connected to a 5-membered ring, and there is delocalization of pi bond. So when I was editing the video, I realized that I had not explained benzenoid and non-benzenoid compounds, so I'm just going to do it now. Benzenoid compounds are those compounds which have a benzene ring in them. For example, benzene, and there can be a dibenzene ring, which is naphthalene, or there can be 3 benzene rings attached to each other with resonance in each one of them. This is called as anthracene. So they're basically homocyclic compounds, which means they have carbon and hydrogen in them and they have resonance in them, but they have only benzene rings. Non-benzenoid compounds are those carbocyclic compounds which do not have a benzene ring in them. For example, azulene. So it can be a 7-membered ring, 5-membered ring, 4-membered ring, which have resonance in it and which not contain benzene. That's how non-benzenoid compounds are defined. That's it. In alicyclic compounds, it is classified into saturated and unsaturated alicyclic compounds. So alicyclic compounds are basically rings which contain only carbon and hydrogen, and they don't have resonance in their ring. In saturated, we get cycloalkanes, that is cyclohexane, for example. In unsaturated, we get cycloalkenes and cycloalkynes, which can be cyclohexene and cyclohexyne. In heterocyclic compounds also, there is a similar classification. But before we go into that, heterocyclic compounds are basically the ones, they're basically closed chain compounds, that is, they're ring compounds which have these heteroatoms, that is oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur and halogen, in addition to carbon and hydrogen. So under this, it can either be aromatic or alicyclic. An example for aromatic heterocyclic compound is furan. So there is a ring, it has a heteroatom, and there is delocalization in the ring because of the lone pair on oxygen and the pi bonds. This is furan. And another example can be pyridine. So in alicyclic compounds, it is similar to that of homocyclic compounds, except that there are heteroatoms in the ring. Alicyclic compounds are those compounds which are closed chain, they have a heteroatom and there is no resonance. An example can be pyrrolidine, NH. This is called as pyrrolidine. And another example can be tetrahydrofuran for alicyclic. Tetrahydrofuran. So that's it for this video, guys. If you have any doubts, please leave it in the comment section below. Thank you.